Hafaday, good evening. Thank you for joining us for the 28th Presidential Lecture Series at the University of Guam featuring MMA pioneer and UFC Hall of Famer, Royce Gracie. My name is Jonas Macapinlac. I am the Director of Integrated Marketing Communications here at the University of Guam, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this event. At this time, I'd like to ask you to turn your cell phones and mobile devices to silent mode. Also, we are streaming this lecture live on Periscope. So if you've got Twitter, retweet at UOG Triton to your friends. Let everybody know this is streaming live. Before we hear from our guest speaker, I'd like to recognize some of our distinguished guests that are joining us this evening. First, from the University of Guam, our 10th President, Dr. Robert Underwood. Dr. Annette Santos, Dean, School of Business and Public Administration. I'd like to recognize the Honorable Ray Tenorio, Lieutenant Governor of Guam. From the 33rd Guam Legislature, the Honorable Frank B. Uggan Jr., Senator. We have an exciting evening planned for you. Royce will be giving his lecture, and afterwards we'll have some time for question and answer. So at this time, I'd like to call to the podium our 10th President, Dr. Robert Underwood.
Hafaday. Buenas todos hamzo. Thank you for coming out to this, what promises to be a very exciting event, maybe the signature event of this long series, the 28th lecture of the Presidential Lecture Series. And as I was telling Royce Gracie earlier today, I said we've had, members of Congress, we've had distinguished, actually we've had a couple of heads of state, and we've had senators, we've had members of the President's cabinet, but nobody as well known as him has come to our campus. So we're very happy at that. And I also would like to express my gratitude for the two toughest guys in government for showing up, Lieutenant Governor Tenorio and Senator Uggan. And I want to point out, of course, that the Lieutenant Governor is a very distinguished alumnus of the University of Guam. But, I know that many of you are fans, and that there's no need to kind of regale you with all of the accomplishments that Royce has had in his life. Suffice to say that he has won the most tournaments in UFC history. He's won 3. He's had the most wins by submission in UFC history, 11, and he's going to add a 12th one tonight. Total 12 submission in victories in MMA. He's tied for 3rd most consecutive wins in UFC history at 11. He's tied for the most fights fought in one night, 4. And he's had the longest fight in UFC history at 36 minutes with Ken Shamrock. He's had the longest fight in Pride Fighting Championships Grand Prix 2000 finals at 90 minutes. Gracie will return to MMA after 8 years to face longtime rival Ken Shamrock at Bellator 149 in February 2016. This fight will be his 3rd against Shamrock, and Royce has won the first bout, the second was a draw, and we certainly are rooting for him in the 3rd round. I know that some of you are wondering if he can kick my ass. My answer is yes, he can. And he can get me to tap out just by being in his line of sight. He is, in the parlance of the day, a remarkable figure. He's committed, he's dedicated, he's thoughtful, his helpful nature, all of these dimensions of him come out as much as his prowess at actually fighting. He is the people's champion, and for us, he is the Triton champion. So, in his next fight, he will be fighting for the Big G. Right. As in Gracie. As well as the University of Guam. But if he wants to confuse the two, we'll let him do it. So ladies and gentlemen, I bring to the stage Royce Gracie.
I don't know about beating you, but I can outrun you. This off. Yes, I can't stand still. I gotta walk around.
All right.
But everything what I am is Gracie Jiu Jitsu. I made from the technique and dignity of the sport a flag. And I'll take care of my family's name with affection, sweat, and blood. Words of my father, Eddie Gracie. To talk about myself, what I did, I gotta talk about him first. I gotta talk about my family. My father was very small, very weak, could not do a push-up, could not do martial arts. He was a Japanese gentleman, went to Brazil to do business with my grandfather, and in exchange of good faith, he taught my uncles the art of jiu-jitsu. My father couldn't learn, couldn't do it, just sat down and watched. He learned practically by watching. My uncle started teaching, just make it quick. My uncle started teaching, my father sat down and watched. One day my uncle was late for a class. That's when my father jumped in and told the student, hey, I know the self-defense program, I can review with you the moves. Taught the student a class. By the time my uncle arrived, I'm sorry, I'll replace this class, this lesson. The student told him, thank you very much, but from now on, I don't mind taking classes from Eddie Gracie. That's when my uncles, 3 of them, were like, hold on. What did you show him? What did you do? He didn't invent a new art. What he did is he added leverage into the moves. So a smaller person, about 60 kilos, it's about what, 140 pounds? He added leverage into the moves. So he was able to do it. He didn't invent the car, he didn't invent the wheel. What he did is, he always explained that way, he invented the jack. With leverage, put the jack underneath the car. With one hand, he can raise the car now and change the tire. So he always says, give me the right leverage, and I'll lift the wheel. That easy. With one hand. By teaching, a lot of people in Brazil, for a long time, thought the Gracies are arrogant because they claim that their style is the best. Everybody says, all the other styles, karate, kickboxing, boxing, capoeira, they all said that their style is the best. There's only one way to find out which style is the best, is taking all the rules, gloves, weight division, no time limit, put in a cage, in a ring, and fight. For my family, it became a quest to find out which style is the best. So they start challenging. You say yours the best, I say mine's the best. There's only one way to find out. Let's take all the rules. There's no time limit, no weight division, and we're gonna get in the cage and see which style is the best. We never claim that we're gonna beat them up. Jiu-Jitsu is a self-defense style. My father could not see, like I cannot see, how my opponent is going to beat me. I cannot imagine. It's a self-defense style. I practice such a way to defend myself in such a way that there's no way I'm going to lose to him. His fights, my longest fight was 90 minutes. It was 6 rounds of 15 minutes. 1 round, 15 minutes. There was 6 of them. My father had one. There was 1 round of 3 hours and 40 minutes. If you sit over there for 3 hours and 40 minutes, your behind will hurt. Imagine getting a kid in a ring and fight for 3 hours and 40 minutes straight. No rounds, no bathroom break, nothing. No water break. But what happens in Brazil, the world will never know, never find out, never hear about it. Maybe today, the internet, but back then, there was no cell phones, no internet, nothing. So what happens there stays there. My brother, or my oldest brother, came to America and brought the same concept to America. Arrived in America, karate claims they're the best, kung fu claims they're the best, boxing, they can make a whole cement wall and knock out bulls, and everybody claims that they're the best. So my brother created the UFC. And on the beginning, it was not a single fight like it is today, but it was an 8-man tournament. That means 3 fights in one night, on the same night. He invited the top champions from their style, from karate to kickboxing to boxing, wrestling. Brackets were set up random a day before the fight. My father and my brother put me as a representing Gracie Jiu Jitsu. Again, on the beginning, people in America was like, oh man, they're arrogant. They're trying to tell everybody that their style is the best. It's West. If you say you're the best, I'll say mine is the best, but let's find out. It's a quest for my family. By beating 3 opponents on the same night, all heavier, stronger, I was the lightest one. Same weight today, 178 from 20 years ago. By beating all my 3 opponents, some weighing 250 pounds, beating all of them without hurting them. It was almost like I subdued them, got them in arm locks and chokes, make them quit. And they were like, wow, what happened? How can that be done? The other fights in between among themselves were bloody, people losing tooth and getting kicked in the face and breaking noses. And mine was like, what exactly did he do? He shocked everybody. Actually, people in the beginning was like, man, this thing's fake. It can't be real. How can the smallest person in the room beat everybody without hurting them? Impossible. My brother set up the second UFC about 3 or 4 months later. This time he made a 16-man tournament. That means 4 fights in one night. Same thing. No time limit, no weight division, no rules, no gloves. Everything goes. Again, beating 4 opponents in one night. Again, everybody's like, wow, what is going on? What is he doing? Once America found out, the whole world found out. It spread out. That was the beginning. Now, it's not just when I fight, I don't win when I want to win. This jiu-jitsu covers all the aspects of the self-defense art. I win when he loses. That means I'm playing such a good defense. Example they use all the time is we're going to play a ping-pong game. If every time you put the ball on my side of the court, doesn't matter where you put it, I'll get that ball and I'll put it back on the center of the table. How am I going to lose this game? Never. So the question now becomes, when am I going to win this game? I'm playing perfect defense. If I don't lose, now the question is how I'm going to win. When do I win? When you miss the tape. Did I win? No, you lost. You're just capitalizing on your mistake. And that's the art of Gracie Jiu Jitsu. It's not like beating up the opponent, and it's a self-defense art. A lot of people sometimes mistaken, and they see the fights on TV and say, oh man, this thing's bloody, and it's violent, and you're promoting violence. No, it's not violence. I'm promoting self-defense. I'm here to show that the smaller person can defend and subdue somebody bigger and stronger. But it goes beyond that. One time, after my fight in Japan, press conference, reporter asked the fighters, what are you gonna drink to celebrate your win? Everybody had a taste. I'm gonna drink some wine, I'm gonna drink some beer, I'm gonna drink champagne. How about you, Mr. Gracie? What are you gonna have? Water. No, I just want to know what you're gonna use to celebrate. Water. I'm not a professional athlete. You tell the girls, hey, I'm a professional athlete, do you want to drink? What kind of example is that? I'm not a part-time professional athlete. I'm a full-time. Patrick's been hanging around with me, he knows that. I have a time to eat, and I eat certain things, don't eat certain things. It's a full-time. I enjoy being healthy. The fighters on the table like, man, great, man. They're part-time professional athletes. They're professional athletes for convenience, as a job. I enjoy it. Yesterday, teaching a class, I asked the kids in my class, who knows what junk food is? Everybody raised their hands. Give me an example. They knew. Give me all kind of examples. Why is considered to be junk food? They all answer. They all give me tons of examples, stuff they didn't even know. Why? I asked, why? Who eats junk food? They all raise their hands. I love kids. Why do you eat junk food? That's what my parents feed me. I was like, really, parents? I look at the parents in the car and they're like, oops. But we're creatures of habit. You get in the habit of doing something. See, it's a question of habit. Or when I don't like it, we're creatures of habit. I have the habit of eating right, of exercise. I'm not a freak about, oh man, I can't do this, I can't eat that, and no, you gotta exercise every day. No. I wake up early. Today I wasn't planning. I knew I was gonna have a long day. I wasn't planning on going for a run or lifting. Got up early. Might as well, got nothing else better to do. Let's go to the gym. Creatures of habit. It's when my father took over of the fighting, he became the main fighter. Back in the day, he became the main teacher. My uncle got him to start to study letters, numbers, nutrition. That's how we create what we call the Gracie diet. It's not exactly a diet, it's more of an eating habits. When do you get sick? So I'm talking about a lot about how we eat because they're both together. I never drink, never smoke, don't really go out and spend all night long partying. So yeah, very basic, very boring life, but very exciting to me. I love it. I live on jumping off planes and bridges and ride down Jaws with a jet ski. I don't surf, so jet ski riding down Jaws, the biggest waves behind me, breakers. Like, man, you gotta not put this boat. But my uncle became a nutritionist, started to study the letters, numbers, the food, the combination, and that's how we create the Gracie diet we call. When you get sick is when you're stressed out. You are expecting the money to come in and it's not coming in, and somebody crashed into your car and your house got some trouble on the pipes and everything's accumulating and you're putting extra hours of working, and then you sit down and you eat a meal. Thanksgiving's coming up. A Thanksgiving type of meal that you go, oh man, I ate too much. I gotta rest. I gotta sit down and rest. That you feel tired. It's the leftover energy going down to digest that food. And that's when you fall asleep and you wake up and you got a cold and you blame the air conditioning. There's nothing to do with that. You blame the weather outside. oh, it's the weather changed, you got a little cold, so that's why I'm sick now. Really? There's nothing to do. It's all in your body, what you're eating. I can't remember the last time I got sick. And I travel quite a bit. I'm on the road 7 months of the year teaching. I'm all over the world. So with contact with people, training, and training camps, and getting ready for fights. So it's a constant. I can't afford to get sick on the day of the fight. So that's why I eat healthy. What we call healthy, it's like combining the food. Base, like I always says, is beyond the mats, the example. I was just talking to somebody the other day, they're like, man, imagine if you take your daughter, your son, to go learn from a person that is drinking. I was just talking to some of the guys in the island actually about that. I was like, man, imagine you take your daughter to go learn from a guy that you see that he's drinking. What kind of example is that? You serve as an example for the people. Not, you see, you want to do it at home in private, go ahead, but not in public. People can see that. It's brother of mine one time said, Royce, in a perfect world, you wouldn't be a fighter. I went home and I thought about it for a week and I called him back. Brother, you're right. He's like, I know. About what? I was like, you said in a perfect world I would be a fighter. Never had a fight in the street. Not a mean person. Don't beat up my opponents for no reason. But live a healthy life. He's like, why do you fight? It's simple, because I know what I'm doing. Simple as that. And I'm not going to settle for second place. Whatever I do, I'm going to be number one. Doesn't matter what it is. But that takes a lot of discipline. There's a lot of talented people, very common, that people mention, man, basketball. This guy's so talented. Brazil, soccer. Man, this player, he's so talented. Fighter, he's so tough. But talent and toughness will go away. You have to have discipline to get up and do what you gotta do. What do you want to do? If you sit down and think about it, this all happened. A lot of stuff happened in this trip, talking to people. Somebody's like, what made you do what you do? Besides being inside your family. I said, when I arrived in America, people had no idea what Royce Gracie's name was. Very famous in Brazil, but people had no idea. So I remember the first day I arrived at the airport, I said, you know, one day I'm going to be so famous that the border patrol is going to be, oh man, Mr. Gracie, can I have your autograph real quick as you go by? And I did it. You will be by fighting, by teaching. It's all up here. You got to know what you're doing. It's not it's simple as just knowing what you're doing. What do you want to do? That's the question. You want to do that? Okay, you got to study. You got to go after your dream. You can't sit at home and think, oh man, it's going to happen to me. It's not going to happen. It's not, I deserve. Hey, I deserve $1 trillion. Not $1 million. Forget $1 million. You just gotta go get it. There's no deserve. Deserve it. You gotta get up. You gotta have discipline to get up and go do what you gotta do. But that, you gotta have discipline. I'm patient and stubborn. I'll go get it. Now, do we have a mic? So if they have any questions. Does anybody have a question?
What was your most memorable fight throughout your career?
UFC 1, 3 fights in one night. Nah, forget that. UFC 2, 4 fights in one night. Erase that one. UFC 3, chemo, 250 pounds. And then 7, UFC 4, 260 pounds, All-American wrestling. Forget it. Sakuraba, an hour and a half in a ring with him. There's one better than that. Hold on. All of them, man. 6'8", a shoulder goes from here to here. 490 pounds. I keep going. All of them. It's hard to pick one.
How did you prepare for the Akipono fight?
It was tough to find somebody 6'8", 490 pounds. There's not many of those walking around. So I actually, what I did is, I used my imagination. I put 2 guys together. They will hold, like imagine another person here. So this person, we use the left arm, and this person use the right arm. They will hug each other like this, side to side, and they will get on top of me so I can get used the weight. But 2, it's not the same. So I'll put a third one on top of them, just so I can get used to the weight of them on top of me. I'd rather be on top of them, pushing them down, to get smothered. Before the fight, at the lobby, we did a press conference in Hawaii. At the lobby, I just got in from a run. There was him and 2 other Samoans. I walked by them, went to the elevator, rules of engagement. I'm not allowed to talk to my opponents. And rules of making me broken. So I just walk up to them, I look at them, made eye contact. All 3 stared at me like, what's up? They all sitting down, look at them, I look at me, look at them. It's like, you know what? I'm too big for you, man. I better lose some weight. I'm gonna run some more. And I'll walk out of the hotel to run some more. They were cursing at me on the way out. On the bus, on the way to the stadium, I'm telling my brothers, not my brothers, I was telling my sparring partners that I can beat him under 3 minutes. I will guarantee him. My brother walks by, hit me on the back of the head. Don't talk like this. Don't put yourself in that position. I knew where he meant. It's like, kind of this, he's my general. It's like, folks, okay, you heard, gotta be quiet for a second. He walked away, I was like, I can't beat this guy in under 3 minutes. After the fight, I beat him under 3 minutes. Got him in the arm lock. After the fight, he came over to hug. First thing I said, I told you I can beat him under 3.
Later in life, your father would wear a blue belt, just like that. Why is that?
For the ones that don't know, I'm gonna go back in history. When my father learned from the Japanese, they used white, light blue, and a royal navy blue, dark blue. 1968, 7, they create the Federation Brazil. And they just add different belts. It became white, blue, purple, brown, and black to get those. They're not going to talk about the kids' belt. They're white, blue, purple. To get a blue belt, you have to be 16. So it's white, blue, purple, brown, and black. To get a black belt, you have to be at least 18. They add the colors. And they added a red belt as a master for my father. People started to get promoted through tournaments, to point system. If you score a point in the tournament. Example. Hold on, back up for a second. Martial art was not made for tournaments. Forget which martial art is the best. martial art in general were not made for a point system, for tournament. They were made for you to defend yourself in a street fight situation. Taekwondo, it was not made to score a point. It was made to knock you out, defend yourself, and knock the person out in the street. If you defend yourself, forget which one is the best. Point system is ruining martial art. So people started to get promoted because they go to tournaments, they win a tournament. Do they know the system? No, they don't. They know the values? No, they don't. So my father started distancing himself and went back to the old way and put a blue belt, Royal Navy blue, and abandoned the federation. After he passed away, I always got promoted by him. Who's going to promote him? So, put his signature on one of the belts, like his, and it stops right here. Belt only cover what? 3 inches of your behind. The rest, you gotta back it up on your own. You gotta know what you're doing.
Boa tarde. Senator Gracie, what advice would you give to the aspiring martial artists? Like the best advice you could give them, if you had to simplify it?
Not martial art, but in everything in life. You gotta know what you're doing. I learned stuff just to say that I know. I don't have a motorcycle. My father was always against riding a bike because he almost lost his leg. But I learned how to ride just for knowledge. It's all about knowledge. You see, it's all about up here. It's so you gotta study martial art or whatever you do in life. You gotta know what you're doing. And if you're gonna know, might as well don't settle for second place. Know well, study well. See, I consider people say, I was just talking over here earlier. The president is, I consider sleeping part of my training. Eating is part of my training. So I train all day. It's not just people say, well, when do you train? Well, I go to the gym, I lift weights, I do this, I do that, I run, and I bike, I swim. But then I eat horrible, I drink to relax, and then in the night, I'm gonna go smoke pot so I can relax and go to sleep. It's like, whoa, really? What kind of training is that? You see, so it's just knowledge. People ask me all the time, the most common question is, who is your toughest opponent? Think about it. Whatever you guys do. Most of the people go to the university over here, I assume, at least half or most. Tomorrow you got a test. You're gonna stay up all night. The teacher might not even show up. The test might be canceled. But you won't sleep. Who's your toughest opponent? It's inside your head, the imagination. Once you know, it's easy. Hour before my fight, I'm asleep. My brother had to come in and wake me up nicely. Brother, can you please wake up? All right, what do you want me to do? And he stretched me one way, stretched me to the other, and warm me up, break my sweat, and let's go. And to a point, a couple of times, I'm walking out to the cage, to the ring, and I had to stop. I feel this so heavy behind me. I stopped, and I was like, come here, guys, come here. Hold up. I'm at home. Relax. All right, fine, go do your thing. I'm like, all right, relax, people. I'm at home, man. I gotta calm them down.
How was it being on the Gracie diet as a kid with you and your father?
It's discipline. It starts that young. was talking to my cousins, last December, we have a meeting every year. And they're like, man, sometimes it's so hard for people to give up something. A subject of one of this came up with one of the students, they were changing belts. And they're like, man, how come it's so hard? Coca-Cola. You know that's horrible for you. But you can't give it up. I have to drink it, man, I can't. It's like so hard. For us, it's so simple. You can't eat this, you can't drink that. It's simple, done. I let it go, drop it in a heartbeat. But because we start at a very young age, you can eat this, but you cannot eat that. You want to eat that, you cannot eat this one. You cannot mix those two together. Those two do not combine together. We eat pretty much everything in Gracie diet. We just combine the food such a way towards an easy digestion. So you cannot eat this, choose this one or this one. Well, I want to eat both. You can't, sorry. We're gonna cry, go ahead, cry. I'm not gonna give you both, doesn't combine. Choose one. So from a young age, we learn how to make a choice on stuff. Well, it is not time to eat yet, but I'm hungry. It's okay to be hungry. It is not time to eat yet. I got 4 at home, so I know how to deal with them. It's just like that, as simple as that. But I'm hungry, okay. Me too. But it's not time yet. Half an hour from now, gotta wait another half an hour. So for us, it's so easy. You see, because we grow up like that, making choices from a young age. It's not that if the kid makes something, he's gonna fall down sick. No, it doesn't happen that way. But it teaches from that simple thing, teaches discipline. Like eating. Man, I love this dessert. Well, doesn't combine. Okay, sits right here. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna eat. Simple. That you in control of your body. So yeah, it's a little hard sometimes, maybe in the beginning, but get used to it. You learn how to make your choices.
Your fight with Ken Shamrock happened almost 20 years ago, and you know the evolution of the art has grown a lot since then. So, are you preparing for? How are you preparing differently? You know, for Ken Shamrock compared to the way you prepared 20 years ago, or is your mentality still the same?
It's a strategy game. What changed? There's only so many ways that you can throw a punch. There's only so many ways to throw a kick. A right hand from Muhammad Ali back in the day is the same right hand from Mayweather today. There's only one way to throw a right hand. What changed is training. They have better shoes, they have better masks today, better treadmill. That changed. But it's the strategy. It's not, you see, there's no new way to punch, to kick, or there's only so many takedowns. Or we're going to invent a new one. There's no such a thing, invent a new punch. There's so many ways to punch. What changes the training. In strategy, by the way, a lot of people confuse strategy with a wish. What is your strategy for this fight? Well, I'm going to come in, I'm going to take him down, I'm going to throw a couple of elbows, he's going to turn around and I'm going to choke. That's not a strategy, that's a wish. You wish the fight happened that way. Have you noticed anything? That's a wish. The strategy is knowing what is he going to do. Example, 6'8", 490 pounds, that gets paid not to put his knee on the ground. How are you going to fight such a guy? You're going to punch him? He's going to punch you back. Rip your head off the shoulder, glue in the wall like a sticker, like a stamp. You can't exchange firepower with a 490 pounds. How are you gonna take him down? Think about it. I can't shake firepower because by the time I hit him, he can hit me back. I don't have enough firepower to knock him out. 180 pounds, knock out before night, doesn't exist, doesn't happen. No chance. What would he do? What is he gonna do? He's gonna charge into me. Is to find out his strategy. He's gonna run into me. He's gonna try to push me back, try to hit me, try to push me against the ropes, and use his body to punch me out. When he charged in, all I did, my father said, sit down. When he charged in, I sat down, he tripped, fell on top of me. That's simple. Fell down on top of me. First time I didn't think he would be able to get up. I started to go to his back. He got up and just shoved me off, pushed me against the ropes off the ground. It's like, oh man, you just did not do that to me. Man, I came back and again, same thing. He ran into me again for the second time. I sat down, he tripped, pretty much fell on top of me. Second time I caught him out block. It's all strategy. It's not that evolution of, you see, evolution of shoes. There's better shoes today. There's better gloves, better machinery, better ways to train. But the arm lock, choke, it's a choke. From 1950 to today, it's the same choke.
Other than your father or any of the Gracie families, in your opinion, who was probably the most important figure in martial arts history?
My father and my uncle, they both together, they did a combination. My uncle would say, jump, my father didn't ask how high. There's a story, and do it like this, and I'm like this with my brother too. It's a question of trust. There's a story one time, my father and my uncle was in a ship, coming, I think it was coming, going to the north of Brazil, to south to north, and one of the sailors decided to commit suicide, jump overboard. And my father and my uncle sat on the back of the ship. They lowered down the little boat. The guy panicked and decided to survive. So they lowered down the boat, rowed with him, but they could not bring the guy inside the boat. So my father and my uncle were like discussing, like, man, they should have somebody jump in the water and then raise the guy's hand, help him up, so the people in the boat can pull him up. But how come they don't jump in the water? They couldn't understand. So my uncle, my father said, I would love to go swim. My uncle said, I would love to go over there, jumping over there, but I won't make it. My father was like, I can make it. I was like, go ahead and jump. Done. He stripped down, jumped. Found out later that there's the place where they were in the northern Brazil, he calls Underwood. It's a concentration of sharks. That's why there was nobody in the water. He didn't know. He jumped, swam, helped the guy, got a medal of honor from the president, helped the guy inside the ship, inside the boat. They brought him up. After, when they got back to the ship, the captain said, if my mother was in the water, I wouldn't jump to save her. That's how many sharks, you out of your mind, crazy. It's like he just didn't know. There were sharks in there. I don't know if it would change much.
Actually, we
have
got
one more, last one.
Okay, here we go. You got the last question here.
So I watch a lot of UFC, and I've seen a lot of this happen. How come some Brazilians would rather knock out than tap out, or snap, or tap?
Wait, how come the Brazilians prefer
To knock out or snap
to
their,
try to punch instead?
No. Knock out or go to sleep.
Go to sleep?
Yeah. Like Lyoto Machida.
It's like Vila Belfort caught John Jones an arm lock in one of the fights. He popped his elbow, but he did not quit. He continued on fighting. He ended up coming back and winning the fight. I think he knocked out Vitor Belfort. But during his interview, he said, "Man, I didn't train this hard to quit. Quit? Sorry, man. I didn't train this hard to go ahead and just give up. You got it. Go ahead, take it home. Here, it's yours. Break it." I'm not thinking about on the day of the fight. I'm not thinking about going home with dinner. I'm not thinking about there's no dinner after. I'm walking in that cage to stay there. I say goodbye. Last time I see you guys. I'm not thinking about going home. Had a good life. Now let's do this. Now go fight somebody like that. It's determination. It's will. Lots of it. Didn't train to quit.
Okay, I just have one question for you, but before that, I'd like to recognize Patrick Lujan from GSPN, who helped bring out Royce Gracie to our island. So I was wondering, since you've been on Guam, what have you been doing and have you been having fun?
How can we have a bad day, people? I wake up every morning, I look at the window and I see the ocean, clear water. I'm thinking, you can never have a bad day. It's always a good day. Last night was raining a little bit, and it looks awesome. I was like, man, there's no bad day in this island. I love it.
We're so happy you enjoyed your time in Guam. At this time, I'd like to call our President, Dr. Robert Underwood, for a presentation.
Thank you so much, Royce. And how about another round of applause for him? And I really like his message. For those of you that are enrolled here at the University of Guam, don't quit. That's the message. That's the underlying message. But we have here a presentation that I'd like to give a special guest. It's in honor of the 28th presidential lecture. It has your name engraved on it, and when we visit you, we hope to see it. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause for our speaker, Royce Gracie. So Royce has agreed to stick around and take some photos and maybe sign some autographs if you have anything for him to sign. So I just want to ask that we do so orderly, form a line, starting here on the left-hand side. If you want to take a picture with the legend, Royce Gracie.